Monster kill!
The battle begins.
The Nyx Assassin looked amazing against all three of those heroes. Then they come out with that Rubik, can throw the damage in from behind. But do you think that it's sort of enough to deal with just the beefiness, the danger? They got Puck, they got Terrorblade, Timbersaw. These heroes scare the crap out of me.
Yeah, I'm worried. Outsiders has valued this Timbersaw very highly through DPC, through this tournament, and they always ban the Batrider.
Oh, Gojira, good stun, but body blocked in and already down low. And, well, Outsiders, they're going to get a first blood. DM draws that one.
He tried to give it over, you know, but DM's like, oh, do I have to? Okay, I guess I'll grab it there. But look at the love in the mid lane.
They're doing some high fives. They're feeling the love, definitely. Both of
and he claps, you know.
Come on, clap out there in the crowd. Let's go. Give them the claps.
They're just excited to be here. The mids, they're in their own world, you know. They don't have to worry about the first blood. It wasn't in their lane. Neither of the mids got it, so it's still a holy lane for now.
Dude, what if they ganked him right now? They just smoked. Oh.
They finally got on beat.
Well, enough that as they are going to head off into the river to try and secure an early bounty rune. Gojira, after dying earlier, walks back out and is going to go actually for the high ground one. Cookie connects, has the impale. I've seen this story before. Gojira, though, makes the move over and
denied it.
Oh, please don't die again. He's going to walk away from that.
He has boots. He should be fine. They don't have much catch.
Yeah, he's got that nice HP regen too, right? The wave not going to aggro. Just taking some time up top there. Meanwhile, down bottom, Stinger and DM also hanging out a little bit here, but Gojira drops the ward. Okay, pretty cool plan there for the potential courier snipes.
And there's one moving on out. Some tangos there for the Undying. We'll see if they actually find him. But this is the big question mark for me. Offlane Rubik. Like, is this a feed? Is it good? Like, what's the plan here?
They're kind of hoping, I think, to just spam the lane out. They didn't see the carry matchup, so they were walking into this hoping for an even lane. And I think they should be fine to get out of the lane. And the Rubik's really good versus Puck and Timber. Good spells, good catch. So he has a lot of heroes that are going to go in for him too with the Kunkka. So if he gets to play his game, he's going to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like a Queen of Pain pick or something, where like as long as you keep playing the game and not feeding, it's gonna be great. But you die a couple of times, slow down that progression, and it's really gonna hurt. But one thing that's great about Rubik these days is that it kind of feels like you're getting items as you get levels now because of the arcane supremacy. Like you just became like so much more effective as a hero with this new passive, and so perhaps if Whisper can get that good start, get those levels, we're really gonna feel this impact.
Thankfully, he does have a stun too, so he actually will have impact pretty much no matter what, even if his game is bad. He can catch GPK off guard. Maybe they get a lift into Torrent, lift into a Nyx stun, and they get kills off of it.
So down bottom lane, we haven't really taken a look at too much. Stinger pushing back both that Timbersaw as well as the Snapfire. Hector gets a nice little round of this, but the block off of Coda, a couple more punches. Whisper in trouble. Does he dive under tower for it? He will. Big Bad Undying was getting multiple double decay stacks, and that's the other hero that they hadn't seen before that Rubik pick came out. Good answer.
Oh, even dropping the tombstone down here too. Get out of my lane, he says.
Yeah, that'll force back the Nyx for a second. That's pretty annoying. Do they try and go for it? Meta's still up.
I think they're going to use it, just push the lane and maybe get a pull off if the Nyx doesn't stop it.
Okay.
They're going to kind of, they just want to hold this lane until the Terrorblade's level 5, level 6, and then he can leave the lane. And Undying with the early levels is going to be really strong. Radiant doesn't have any good tomb killers.
God.
They have a lot of melee heroes, and the Rubik's their only range, and Rubik's not really known for hitting very fast or even wanting to hit a tombstone. So if he gets early levels, I don't know, it might be hard for them to team fight.
And that tombstone the entire game too, as you said, though, just like not going to be easy for anyone to deal with. Pretty much it's just on Hector.
Yeah, spin, punch the tombstone, or if Rubik's there, it's going to be a tough one for sure. Yamich already getting some good harassment onto that Jug. Does have the healing ward back up in a few, so one of the reasons this hero's also been picked a bunch. That sustainability in lane, you kind of have to have it. Mid lane, 17-3 versus the 15-3 on the Puck.
Yes, we got a Puck today, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, was completely ignored in the first series. You know, we weren't really seeing this hero all too much. Not sure what was going to happen there, but it comes back out, and we know that Outsiders, they love and hate this Puck all at the same time. So GBK looking to be one of the flashier Puck players that you're going to see.
Puck is this hero that some players are more inclined to want to play it every single game, and some people just never want to play versus it, and some people don't care. So I think in this series it was more of like a Both of them kind of value it. No one really wanted to pick it first, but since Outsiders got the 6-7, they were able to snag it up at that point.
This DM pulling a big old wave along with them into that hard camp. And Stinger just trying to contest where he can, as well as maybe get a couple of last hits onto those creeps. But they're having a pretty decent time so far in this Timber once the full wave will meet up with itself. And he's able to clear through the second round of it. As Yamich trying to pass over a little high five, they'll stack up the camp, probably get a pull off in a minute.
I think the biggest move right now is they're going to wait for this Kunkka to get 6 and maybe try to rotate and kick the Terrorblade out early. His hero's okay when he gets kicked out early. That's why a lot of teams pick it. It's so that he can abandon the lane. But the earlier you make him leave the lane, the slower he'll farm. And there's not going to be much pressure on mid. Bot lane's also pretty low pressure. So this top lane's probably where the action's going to end up happening.
Definitely the least risky maneuver you can make on the map, right? Like Puck getting away, Timber getting away. At least you get a very good shot at taking down that Terrorblade. So we'll see if they can maybe soften them up for that moment up top right now.
Already, Reflection, pushback Gojira. Does have the Spike Carapace ready, just the level 2 with the Impale after. But Whisper kind of getting bullied back slightly by this Undying, which has been a bit of a thorn in their side. Down bottom, maybe a chance to go on to Stinger, bringing him lower. But Yamich out of mana means there's no cookie follow-up there. So yeah, again, very slow-paced in the early goings until we see those rotations.
Yeah, they know the limits of this clock hero. I think beastcoast loves their clockwork. They've been picking this forever. So they're going to probably abuse this hero. They really like Jetpack. It gives a lot of vision. So they're going to use this more of a vision tool. They don't have the best heroes to abuse vision. I think Kunkka X is probably going to be their best. But it's not the best X game. There's not many heroes that he can actually catch, specifically his Puck. He'll never catch this Puck.
It will at least enable Whisper too as well in that Rubik, right?
Yeah.
Like trying to find those
spell
heroes,
steals.
those good spells that you want. Like a lot of your game plan on Rubik is just waiting for that right spell and getting the steal at the right time.
Saving that Soul Ring, DM never really in trouble there, as they can't really do much, as you were talking about. But up top again, they're still having 33 and 11 right now versus the 26 and 4. So having a very good time on the Terrorblade. Has not been punished, hasn't been bullied back. Ramses is just killing it.
Yeah, surprising. They're top of net worth on both side lane cores for Outsiders. And usually this Kunkka always is top of the charts. He's one of the best heroes to farm on mid. He can take the small camp. He has this cleave. It's generally hard to outpace him in the early game, and they're keeping up, which is very surprising.
I'm surprised he might actually get this rune as well, as it didn't spawn bottom, and they actually fully dedicated to that side. So there's your Arcane Rune for the potential move. Has that vision up on the pillar as well. Could grab Hakoda here.
Yeah, doesn't want to give up his ward. Just drops the boat right away. Gojira is there for the stun if they want to get it. And See Smile takes the kill. First rotation and first on the board for Beast Coast.
These kills are important. You always want your Kunkka to get items. If he starts falling behind, he'll start his damage will start getting really low, and he really needs a BKB to be able to fight. The Timber Saw and the Puck are just going to kill him anytime he walks up if he doesn't have BKB. So that's going to be their first big timing for Beast Coast.
It's got to feel nice also getting that kill with the Arcane Rune, and his boat's back up and ready to go in just 25 seconds. You can see that Stinger already coming to check, are there that many stacks that are in the jungle? Can they go and try and find them? Quick little torrent, Tidebringer, not going to actually connect onto the Puck, but still some asserting dominance in that mid lane.
Yeah, well, you saw Yamich was lying in wait there too. They're going to smoke through that vision that they've placed here as well from Beast Coast. So perhaps an unsuspecting gank now moving towards that bottom lane. And, well, you know, there is a clockwork. Not who you're exactly looking for at the moment, though.
Spin is on cooldown for 10 seconds.
And they both get pushed back by the cogs, so they won't find it. No movement for a kill. Gojira, in the meantime, is coming on into the jungle and trying to bully back Ramses a bit. Koda over there, too.
These rotations always feel really bad for the mid if you end up getting nothing, no pressure on the lane, no kill, no anything, and you can already see he's fallen behind about 1,000 gold. And it's only 7 minutes.
Playing with fire in the jungle. But yeah, you mentioned it, the sort of differential there between the Kunkka and the Puck. Starting to grow slightly.
Yeah, and they do have this pressure. Even though they didn't rotate the Kunkka up top, they have the Warden behind the tower. You have this Nyx Assassin sort of running through the jungle, so they will slow down Ramses a little bit, but it's definitely not that pacing that you're hoping for right now. Whisper will grab the Decay and try and out-Undying the Undying.
Whisper's also rushing Boots to travel, so he's looking to be a little more greedy with his team. And I think he's assuming his Kunkka is going to be able to be this really strong body for him. He'll boat to protect him and he'll get this BKB, so he's allowed to be a little more backline. He also has a Jug, so he's going to kind of use his core. His 4 melee, he has 4 melee heroes.
He
doesn't need to go.
Got one, though. Down bottom as Yamich, they'll find him. A couple more punches, and the torrent is through. See Smile makes another rotation for the kill. So constantly making these moves like you said he needed to, and they're also throwing the Nyx Assassin into that jungle just to bully back the Terrorblade, not give him a completely free time of it.
These rotations are also nice because Nyx is getting the mid lane every time the Kunkka moves. So getting this early level 6 on Nyx enables him to maybe get a kill.
Oh, the flare! Oh, he gave it away. Oh, no. Stinger. Oh, that is a little unfortunate. Thought he could maybe snipe the kill.
Yeah, get in there, grab some neutrals at the same time, and yeah, not only giving the Nyx mid, but having someone who can actually go to lane versus the Timber as GPK. Gets low, but is a puck. I say that.
Ooh. That's the face shift. He was always going to be fine. Ooh, but the Torrent? No, not quite going to be there. So they're just throwing abilities.
Yeah, these spells are just getting thrown out. Everyone just is hoping that they'll clip one hero. Luckily for Outsiders, they're safer now.
So 1,000 gold separating these two teams. The Rubik is now third on the net worth after having a completely free time up top.
Gojira with the sneakiest move. The run-through ward, the drive-by. Yeah, yeah, but she might know now, though.
Yeah, they got him. As they pull him back in, have the stun there. The Tidebringer, double stun, actually, connects onto Hakoda. Might find more, but the coil is down. Can they get out? Can they find this kill? Need to turn onto this tombstone. See Smile still taking a lot of damage out there. They find the finish with that Tidebringer, but See Smile will get ran down and killed. So for 2, Outsiders make the rotations.
That was a nice TP by DM. This is always the worry with Kunkka. The second the rum runs out, your hero's not as tanky as you think you are. You start taking the damage, it starts coming in, and then the Timber Saw with all his percentage-based damage.
Then Whisper tips you for some reason. You fed mid, you know? That's
a teammate. That's good.
Anytime you leave a hero in a lane, like this Rubik got left alone, you're always going to start getting really farmed. These lane creeps are the biggest gold on the map. Jungling is good, depending on the situation, but the lanes give you the most gold. And the fact that he just got a left alone top, he's even above the Terrorblade.
They don't drop cool items, though, in the lane.
True.
So, big downside on that one. But yeah, Whisper already has the Boots of Travel flying out on the Courier, looking towards that Blink Dagger next. So trying to be that high-flying, impressive Rubik that you want to see, making all the big spell plays here. And, I mean, we talked about it a little bit before, but like the stuff that you can steal this game is so good for this Rubik when you are well-enabled like this and you have that big range, particularly stuff from the puck as well as, I would say, even like the Undying, maybe get a Tombstone. Gonna have that Snapfire there, too, with
the Timber Saw. Chakram's really important for this hero as well. A lot of damage.
Getting Chakram really feels so good on Rubik.
Now you can see GPK rush this Witchblade. I don't know if it's whether he just values it more. Some players like it more than Boots, but he might have felt pressured because of how his lane went that he wanted to make a move. But now he's kind of forced into this top lane where there's not much. There's no heroes here. There's nothing for him to do.
Whoa, Whisper with that level 4 Timber Chain comes on in and takes down Ramses. So a quick snipe, and they immediately ping out, yes, there's a ward there.
Yeah, that's actually ridiculous.
It's the same ward from earlier.
Yeah.
Well,
BK
will be deboarded, but did its job.
Trade in, but the punches, and they will bring down Gojira on the Nyx Assassin. So they get a return kill, but not as big as Ramses.
Yeah, this is all on the mid lane.
More for more. They go on in. Stinger there. The Tombstone down. Need to bring it down. Mortimer's kisses. In the meantime, get thrown out also. So Beast Coast lose a couple different heroes there. Can they bring down Hakoda? Trying to look, Tumbler's Twin Rage, he jumps up to the high ground with the Timber Chain. Whisper just being a maniac early, making so much happen. The boat, the kill, See Smile is there.
Yeah, the inability for GPK to get there as well for like a coil, because that's would really threaten someone like Whisper, right? Getting coiled up, but the second that he saw the kisses get thrown out like that, he's just like, yeah, we can actually engage now. And I think using that to take down the Clockwork, probably not in the best interests of Outsiders.
All this is a result of them kicking this Terrorblade. He's been forced in this tri-camp, and you've seen twice now that he's been pressured out of the tri-camp where he's been low health. And because of that, Beast Coast is able to just kind of run it there, and they get a free kill. Almost 2 free kills there. And they are playing very aggressive, which is why they're giving up these kills when they chase too far, but...
Ooh. Spike Carapace and the mana burn. The cookie is there, but no detection. Outsiders, they don't have it. Drop the sentry after, and then they do manage to bring him down. So Outsiders make the move. There was already one placed down the high ground.
Don't worry, Dust is flying out for the snap now, so
all right.
He's got the detection for the next one.
Like, it feels bad to use these coils and these kisses on these two supports, but at the same time, if you give that breathing room over to Stinger and Schofield and Gojira, they're the ones who are going to be getting to this jungle. They're the ones who are going to be giving that vision, that long hook shot to give that space for Whisper to get in there and try and get a finish onto Ramses. So it's kind of expensive, and you're only killing supports, but I feel like they also need it just to try and get Ramses a game.
They end up in the situation where the supports are taking up so much of your space that you feel really awkward to let them exist there.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
you don't know whether it's worth it to bring all your heroes back just to get this one support kill while the Beast Coast cores are farming, or you try to run at the Beast Coast cores, but you have no space. Your cores are being pushed in their base.
Well, they kind of have the triple support there. I guess the Rubik much more than that now with the Boots of Travel, but he's also queued up a very interesting couple of items. We'll have to watch for that. The Blink Dagger Dagon 5 for Whisper. We'll see if he actually goes for that, but against the Terrorblade, it's kind of hype.
I would not be surprised. He does get a lot of spell amp from his passive, so...
Needs to be careful. Gojira, Spike Carapace, look for the stun. It went out a little early, so they again punish this Nyx as Whisper is going to jump away.
The most important thing right now is if Beast Coast gets this mid-tier 1, it's going to be really hard for Terrorblade to play on the map. He's been existing in this tri-camp for like 6-7 minutes now, and the only defense that he has is this mid-tier 1. So Beast Coast is probably going to start trying to bring pressure to mid. I wouldn't be surprised if Hector walks over on this creep wave and tries to go take it.
It feels like he's the one who has to really be there for Beast Coast to get that full confidence.
God, Seasile is so farmed. DD with the BKB double bracer phase. This is just like ultra big moment for Kunkka, and Hakoda is going to drop down the tombstone. They try and blow him up. They will get him and get the extra gold.
That's bonus gold, baby.
That is what they wanted.
That is just... this is why I can't play Undying.
Oh.
200 gold.
Dude, they also dropped the tombstone stolen over by the Rubik, so they'll have that for the next fight.
Yeah, so now this Terrorblade's going to kind of be forced out. He doesn't know whether it's safe for him to go bot, but it's not. There's no camps. His Timbersaw is kind of taking all that space. So now he's just going to have to walk backwards. And this is always the really feels bad.
Oh, they're not going to get him. Well, maybe they will. Moving forward, gets the stun. He finds him. Smile with the torrent. They connect. They kill. Whisper sets it up with Gojira, and they make it work. And now Ramses pulled back in. Are they looking for more? They jump forward. Stinger gets the pushback, and Ramses goes down. Whisper with the double kill as they keep hunting. And Outsiders, they're just not ready for this aggression. Beast Coast move on in, drop the tombstone, up the Omni Slash rather, and it's just going to be another one.
Man, you put that tombstone down there from Whisper, and there's just no re-engaging there from Outsiders.
I mean, even Outsiders has a snap, but he's not ready. No, they're not ready for this fight. They're just being dove off cooldown.
Oh, the crowd is feeling it right now. They're feeling the love.
The heroes of the Americas.
They got to keep it going. This team, they got top 6 at the last major, looking to get it again here and maybe further. We'll see if they can keep up that momentum. With a 3,000 gold lead, it is 10-8. But where do they go next?
I think for Outsiders right now, they need to get their Timbersaw involved. He was involved in the early kills when they got the Kunkka, but him and the puck need to start connecting. Otherwise, this game will start snowballing out of control. This Jug has really low pressure. It's a really nice Jug pick. The Kunkka's got his BKB up. So the longer they wait, it's not going to get easier. Yeah. Unless you wait a really long time for this Terrorblade.
And the difficulties now is, of course, the BKB being there for the Kunkka, but it's still on cooldown right now, so perhaps that last nerf could aid them here. They're going right past that Kunkka, though. They want to
walk into them.
Oh, that could be good for them. 10 seconds, but
they
probably don't know.
And they're heading over. Gojira is spotting over by Ramses. I mean, if they find him instead, they have full vision of Ramses. This fight is going to start very strange. Whisper needs to get his blink back off cooldown, but it's not going to come in time. With a stun! On to 3! Oh, he wrecked him! Oh my god, 2 do go down, but they've already killed off the puck. Smile, how much can he do on his own? Finds the kill with the Tidebringer. Still 3 more heroes on 1, and Smile says, I'm ready to battle again. Torrent, just a little off the mark as DM walks away. With Hector showing up, it's a little bit dangerous. Stinger is there. The X pullback, and the Cog's down, but Stinger, he goes down as well. Maybe they've gone too far. Beast Coast, the turn. They dodge the torn again. Outsiders are playing this about as perfect as you can. Smile hides away, but it's not going to be there. Outsiders, they take the fight that they wanted.
A really nice fight. They kind of just keep baiting Beast Coast because their damage is really high, but it takes a long time for it to ramp up. With the Undying Tombstones, the Timbersaw, once they get these 2-3 rounds of spells off, they're really good. It's also getting through this rum buff from the Kunkka.
Yeah, you feel confident because the puck went down early as well, but then they just back up. They have that Tombstone there, and since Hector's dedicated to try and take it down, they're able to just re-engage there. I mean, the start of the fight looked pretty good considering how long a Rubik survives as the first initiation target. It looks like it's going to be all right, but eventually Outsiders do run them over at the end of the fight when Beast Coast decide to come back in.
I think once this Rubik gets taken down, they lose a lot of their damage if their Jug's not instantly in the fight. This Rubik's getting so many good spells. He's getting them off over and over.
It's that golden tombstone. It's just like, oh, it's worth so much, you know? Hector's just down there hitting it, and they kind of realize, like, oh, wait, you know, like, I don't have anything left on my Kunkka. Why am I here?
Listen, Hector got the gold, and then he got out. That's all that matters, right? They're good with that.
It's all about the gold. The number. That's a 2K swing, though. It's a very big fight for outsiders.
fair.
This is the kind of thing that's going to get this Terrorblade, this BKB. It's going to get the Timbersaw the next set of items in the top lane.
Cookie, has he gone too far? Hector, but Whisper, the turn. They try and bring him down.
He's got orb.
Ward is down. Can they kill him? He's trying to chase. Has the jump forward. Ooh,
Nice
but
try.
the jaunt away. And Yamich appreciating what he's seeing.
These kills are going to get harder and harder for Beast Coast, but their 5-man is not going to get weaker for them.
Oh, good carapace there in the Vendetta.
Well played. They get the lift, and Puck can't jaunt to that orb. There was vision in the area. GPK still hanging around, but is instead just going to go for the creep kill and then back away.
So even though they lost that fight, it's not a hard situation for Beast Coast. They're still ahead. This Jug is still really powerful. The Kunk is still powerful. They just have to be careful of chasing too far. They have to kind of like put a limit on the amount of time that they can fight, and once that limit hits there, you just walk away. You take your win, even if it's not as much as you would have hoped for, you take it.
It might be time for Beast Coast to start thinking about some of these other objectives on the map there as well. You know, that early pressure into the tier 2, we saw the power they had there, perhaps getting into that dire part of the map, getting some wards down, thinking about Roche.
I think outsiders right now, they're just kind of waiting for this Terrorblade BKB. I wouldn't be surprised if he breaks his Dragonlance either, just to get it a little faster. And all they need is this Terrorblade to be able to be in the fight and survive the beginning of the fight. Again, as I've said, this boat is the whole fight for Beast Coast.
Yeah.
That's all they have.
And he's trying to improve that situation by getting that sight there as well, right? Try and make the boat a little bit more reliable, especially when you are going to be seeing that BKB coming up from Ramses.
Yeah,
But
a lot of the
there are
Kunkas,
saves.
they'll go like one of two directions. They'll go the more carry, where they'll go like Boots of Travel and Silver Edge, and they want to one-shot people with this crit. And the other direction is more like a magic build, but it's more like Ags, Sheep, Refresher. You play to kind of control the team fight. So because this Rubik's been having such a good game, he doesn't need to worry about the damage. His Jug also a free game, so all he has to do is lock down people and extend the fight enough that his damage-dealing heroes will deal their damage.
That is daggone damage-dealing hero Rubik can do stuff, right? It's almost done.
That's the way to
It does
go.
almost have Dagon 1. I'm surprised if he will upgrade it fully. But Rubik is one of the best Dagon heroes in the game because of how his passive works.
Makes sense. It's a lot of spell amp. It's a lot of range.
I think the other thing that's going to be interesting to watch is if he does get that Hex, then might not even need the boat all the time to get the full pickoffs there. DM burns a ton of mana by Gojira and then just has to back out. Very annoying to play against this and starting to bring him down bit by bit. The steady control that keeps on coming through. DM doesn't have a way to go, and well, they find the Tombstone Zombie Man afterwards. Can they bring him down? Looks for the Tidebringer hit, not going to go for it. They are sensing they're out a bit too far, and Beast Coast not going to overextend.
They can play a little bit aggressive because the coil was used up top, but unfortunately it's because they were able to kill Hector. That same combo again that nearly got him last time with the snap and the puck do succeed on this iteration.
That was a nice disengage by Beast Coast. Even though they lose their Jug top, which is not what they want, they weren't able to lose anything mid, and they forced a bunch of TPs to their tier 2 mid. And TPing back to the mid lane feels really bad because you don't have anywhere to go on the map. You don't have any lanes you can push. You don't really want to walk out mid either because when you walk down mid, then you give them the opportunity to jump you on mid. So it's kind of pushing them back in this corner, and you'll see they're going to try to split out or split up. And when you split up, these is when you get caught.
Dire's bottom tower is
We'll see as, of course, Whisper one of the best ones to facilitate that alongside the potential hook shots here. Stinger trying to find an angle.
I think right now they're probably going to try to get a pick around Roche for side of Beast Coast and try to get this Aegis so that Hector feels more comfortable pushing out these lanes. He already knows that he can't die now, which is, it's kind of a mentality switch, your first death every game. And so you go from feeling, I'm unkillable, I can do whatever I want to, oh, okay, maybe I need a more defensive item. Maybe I need to play with my team more. I can't push this extra wave. You have to tone it back, and sometimes that tone back can hurt you a lot.
And another grab, the dynamic duo, GPK and Yamich.
They're just
having a
making
kill.
it happen over and over again, and that time without the coil, so they'll have another round to go on in here.
And they bought that time. There is BKB on the Terrorblade now, so if they decide to try and go for that Roche, like if there's a buyback threat or
Hector
something.
chasing Omni, but immediately just phase shifts. I don't think that was ever going to work.
There's no mana on the
GPK
puck, though.
Oh, actually, yeah, burn through all the mana. It ends up working. Never mind. Whisper goes down. DM, the Hex is there. That's the reveal. The Torrent, the bow, but the Yule Scepter. He gets it off, and now the kisses come out. So Beast Coast forced back again.
I like that. Defensive kisses there because they don't want to rotate Ramses in right now. He's still busy farming.
Yeah, this is not feeling good for Beast Coast right now. They're losing all this early game advantage they had. The Terrorblade's catching up. This hero doesn't need too many items. BKB is kind of enough as long as your team does enough. And both of their supports are going to be so strong in these team fights, specifically this Undying. I'm worried about this Tombstone in all these fights.
Yeah, it's gotten to a real issue here because it's all on Hector. It truly
Hector he has very big job right now. This Timbersaw is also starting to look very hard for them to kill. Almost unkillable.
Oh
Dinger.
my goodness. The Tombstone down, but the right click's coming through. And a couple more punches. He's going to get away. Stays alive. Gojira, can he find something here onto Hakoda? They drop down. The Sentry Ward, Mana Burn doesn't have much left. Whisper shows up, but they lose the Nyx. Okay, trade of 1 for 1 there.
Oh, well, plus Tombstone Gold.
Oh, that's true.
So you know. It all evens out in the end.
This Terrorblade doesn't need to use BKB though. No one gives up anything, but at the same time, Outsiders pushing out mid, they're pushing out top. They're getting a lot of the map out of this, and Beast Coast are the kind of on the back foot. They have to keep TPing and responding to all these plays, and they're not able to bring all 5 heroes into one side of the map to take a fight on their terms. So they're going to try to change it up right now with this smoke.
This is another attempt to find some sort of a play towards that Roche pit. Hector kind of like baiting, trying to stay nearby in the mid lane while pushing this. Perhaps looking a little bit innocent here on the creep wave.
And Whisper, they're walking into vision now. Yamich is there. He's going to be right underneath the ward. Stinger, hook
they
shot,
see Hector
back
on the ward.
up. Can they find anybody else? Are they going to be able to get the back lines? They get some vision. DM, they jump in and they catch him. The Timbersaw under control. The Hex, the follow-up, but they try and turn this now. Silence takes down the Nyx Assassin. Can they bring down DM? He gets out of there. The Dagon, the right click. It's not enough. Whisper finally chases him down. But can they get the puck after? GPK, he will manage to escape. They still manage to take that a 1 for 1.
That was really close to being bad. The Terrorblade doesn't have the resources to fight right now. He's very low mana. So I think if he had the resources in Katipi, that fight could have gotten way worse for Beast Coast. They used a lot of resources. And you can see how tanky this Timbersaw is getting. He's getting very farmed. And this hero, when he gets farmed, is way tankier than you think he is.
Listen, I just got to say, he's really tanky, but he's leveling up the Dagon. The Dagon is getting leveled up, and there's an E-blade afterwards that's queued. I want to see what Whisper can do with this. Like, it's not a one-shot, surely, but it's going to be a good amount of damage, right?
It's going to be a lot of damage. I think even this Terrorblade has to be worried about getting bursted because they have 2 instant spells or instant stuns for this Terrorblade, so he can't get bursted 100 to 0. There's not much save on the side of Outsiders. They have a heal from Undying and a Glimmer, but outside of that,
cookie.
but there's nothing to stop him from getting nuked if he's just existing. It's only kind of like a disengage tool, but when you're dead, you can't disengage.
Well, I know Dagon and Terrorblade go really well together. So, you know, if you mess up on that nuke, it could be a problem for your team.
He could be damaging his own team, yeah.
That's fair. Well,
there's not many big items. The Scotty we finished on the Jug, it's almost always a good Scotty in this patch. There's so much healing, so many range steers that are getting picked. When the Terrorblade switches into his meta form, he's ranged, so the Scotty's going to be even stronger versus him than normal. And so they're going to wait for maybe the Shard, or they're just going to walk into Roche.
Oh, and this is all under vision right now.
It feels forced. Like, it feels like they've been trying to do this for so long, and they just said, okay, I got Scotty first, so we're just going to go for this now.
But Terrorblade can't get there right now. He's on the other side of the map. Meanwhile, Silence connects onto Nyx Assassin. They throw out the cookies. Need to be careful. Nyx starting to drop. Nyx Assassin dead. Stinger finds a Coda. Omni Slash bouncing around, but not doing nearly enough. And he's just going to go down here. They walk forward. They just gave him a free Roche. What was happening?
Beast Coast felt pressure to go in here. They feel like they haven't been able to get the pressure on the map that they wanted to. Several times they've tried to get a pick into the Roche, and eventually they just say, okay, I feel like Terrorblade won't be here in time. Let's go for this. But the Tombstone got up there on the high ground, and at that point the coil came down. I felt like Beast Coast were just locked into a bad fight.
I think they're starting to feel bad. They obviously don't know what the gold is, but anytime a Terrorblade hasn't died in 10 minutes or so, you start getting worried. You don't know what this guy's up to. He doesn't show up to fights. When you don't show up to fights, how farmed are you getting? So they're worried. They don't know what's happening. And I think it's kind of the pressure's getting to them.
That's a big blow up. Whisper, my goodness.
A lot of damage. I would be surprised. I think Whisper should pick up the Shard because of all these spells he's able to steal. The Scatter Blast on Rubik is really strong if he gets the Shard. It's a lot of damage. It's a lot of stun. And he'll catch this puck. I think he'll solo kill the puck with a Shard.
But here's the thing. He wouldn't have the Dagon leveled up, though, right?
That's true.
No, that's something.
It's 100 damage that he's missing out.
Oh, then we need that Kai. I need that E-Blade.
He needs the mana from the Kaya so he can keep these spells up. You can't buy... Shard's a defensive tool. It's for saving yourself, saving your team. You don't need to save yourself if you kill the enemy first.
I like this.
Now that's some NA Dota right there.
Representing. Yeah. They saved Arteezy. Saving the NA tournament.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, though, Stinger, he does love the Shard on this Clockwork, so trying to help get that vision for the team, see if they can start these fights on a little bit of a better footing. This one from Beast Coast, but for now they're back on the back foot.
Connects, and GPK is there with the coil, the leash. Doesn't have anywhere to go. The orb, does he manage to escape? No. And an Aeon Disc, an interesting answer for all that burst.
That could have been really cool. If the Aeon Disc popped in the middle of the damage, he wouldn't have dealt damage to Rubik. And there's actually a chance of him surviving, but thankfully the Snapfire showed up. And an instant smoke, they're going to try to turn this kill into more.
Is under attack.
Coda, damage there. Gojira, C-Smile, heading forward. They spot GPK. We're hoping to get him, and just phase shifts away from that. No worries at all.
It's a nice map movement. They're just going to connect down towards Ramses, head into this mid tower. DM's already there, so they can pressure with the Snapfire. And up top, GPK with that Aeon Disc, he's just like kind of spanning out the waves, feeling safe with his Aegis.
Yeah, and the nice thing Outsider's doing right now is they're not taking the tier 1 mid to not refresh the glyph. So they're able to get this tier 2, and then they'll probably walk to mid and get the free tower.
Yeah, well, because of that delay, unfortunately, Yamich eventually went for it and does fall down, and they won't get it quite yet. Instant smoke as well as Singer didn't use the hook shot. Wants to catch them on the way out.
That like need to keep this train going, trying to find some advantage and then build off of it. And they do spot these heroes down on the bottom side of the map. See Smile.
DM has a 9-second BKB right now.
Stinger right on top. They're going to need to go for the full control. Ramses, they started. This is about as good as it gets. Can they bring him down in time? Do they have the burst with the Yule Scepter?
Whisper's not there.
The lift up there is on C Smile. They have to run. Immediately BKB TP out, but the rest of them are caught. He's going to have to hook shot to get away. Stinger tried to go, but there's nothing there. Hector was not able to get the connection onto him, and well, they run him down again. Outsiders just taking over the last 10 minutes.
This is starting to look really scary. The Aegis is on the puck still. You know, the team fight, their damage seems really low now. Beast Coast now. I think this is the worry.
That was pretty good for him. Omni Slash down, not quite enough damage though, and instead they just turn and destroy him. Oh, Hector did not have friends to help him out there.
Yeah, Whisper just had a lot of respect there. He's like, I just don't think I can get in there and get that kill. It's so tempting.
The worry for this game right now is Beast Coast doesn't really have a great hero at pushing out lanes. That's why I think Whisper brought these boots of travel. That's why he's always been top so much. He feels like he needs to push this lane in.
And that's why he missed that gank bottom as well, which they really needed him, right? Like his whole idea of trying to burst down this Terrorblade, it could have been there in that moment bottom, but he's too busy doing map pressure.
But at the same time, on the side of Outsiders, they have a puck, gets to push lanes for free. He can't get caught. But most importantly, they have this Terrorblade. He sends one illusion down mid, free lane. He sends one illusion down bot, another free lane. And they're able to kind of just keep their heroes closer together based on their draft.
Oh, and C Smile again, knowing where's that from downtown, gives him the zap.
The ward's expiring anyway, it's fine, you know.
Dude, that range is crazy. You gotta love that. Look at how big it gets.
Dagon's the most expensive item in the game for a reason. So it's a good item. It's just usually getting to that point where it's that good, it can be pretty hard. And it's mixed results.
Say what you feel.
Mixed results.
There's an item called BKB, which is generally one of the better items in this game, and it makes your 7,000 gold item do nothing for half the fight.
Only if your fingers are too slow. And we got some, a lot of quick draw practice right here, all right, at this major.
Well,
right place for it.
AC completed.
Another smoke. These teams, it feels like they have infinite smokes. They're always smoking these two heroes, these three heroes, and they're using it more to connect to a big fight.
Oh, that's shard stun.
A follow through, no chance to get the boat out and see Smile. They pop his BKB there too.
He certainly did, yeah. Hoping for something.
That was not going to be there at all. So 90 seconds, no Kunkka, and a 7,000 gold lead as the Aegis is going to expire. Gojira gets the blink away.
So thankfully for the side of Beast Coast, they do have a lot of damage thanks to this Rubik, especially if he gets a stun like a Scatter Blast or the Timbersaw Chakram.
A Veil as well on Stinger to help out.
So if they do get the actual fight they want, they get a sheep on this Terrorblade and they try to 100-0 him, there's a chance they win this fight. My only worry is that I think that if they have to use all their BKBs and all their resources on the Terrorblade, Outsiders' draft is still good outside of their Terrorblade. They don't need him. They need this guy to hit buildings. Outside of buildings, they can handle themselves. And on the side of Beast Coast, they kind of need all of their 5 heroes to hit their spells perfectly in order to do the damage.
Whisper does a big old burst there. Not enough to obviously kill, but a good stun. Again, this connection onto Gojira has not been able to play Dota. Whisper is dead as Hakoda found him. The kisses from downtown finding Stinger, and one last blast. He burns to death. They have to buy back on the Nyx Assassin, but this is everything. The whole lane of Rax is going to go down here, and meanwhile, GPK is just chasing them into the fountain, does not appear to care one bit. This is a full lane of racks and just
no mercy.
Just taunting them. They're going for tier 4s. I don't think they got a chance, a way to deal with this. And you know what? They might be right.
The Whisper's dead for 50, no buyback. And the Jug, if he tries to enter the fight, he's just going to get bursted down. There's so much physical damage on the side of Outsiders from this Terrorblade.
This might be all of it. Outsiders, they go for tier 4 towers. They're done playing. They want a quick day. Don't need Metamorphosis, just finishing off the throne right now. But can they do it? There's still a little bit of HP left. No glyph available. They pop BKB. They turn to punch it. And GG is called.